I realized that I probably... Let me start that again. I realized that maybe my audio was out. I apologize for that. Still a little flustered. Hi. Thanks for coming and joining. Pardon the technical difficulty just there. But I wanted to chat about what happened last week. For any of you who saw the last video I made, which was pretty serious. It was me talking about whether or not to continue, doing this project in my channel. But also, if anyone follows me on any social media platform, last week started off pretty rough and unexpected, and then ended really well. And so I was going to make a video about this, but videos take a lot of time, and by the time I'm finished, it might seem like, what was that about? And that's actually the whole point. These videos surprisingly take a long amount of time, despite the minimal editing that I do as an absolute beginner. And I just wanted to field any questions you had about what happened, about moving forward, about how things were resolved. And but in addition to that, since I'm always striving to make this channel somewhat useful, is that we can also work together. If any of you are out there like, I have no desire to to chat about stuff, I just want someone to study with, then actually in a little bit, I am gonna mute my camera, and if you have some work that you want to get done, we can get it done together, keep each other accountable, and also let each other know in the chat what we're up to. Because if you're like me, sometimes there are some things that it takes a little bit of peer pressure to get done. And so yeah, I believe the chat should be open. Thanks. Real Goose, am I back up? I should hopefully be back up. My mic was muted, but please let me know if it's coming through okay now. So last week, let me talk, for those of you who have no idea who I am or what's going on. Let me just give you a quick update, and do let me know if you can hear me okay. So my name is Tom Mullaney, and I run, well, in this capacity, and as far as you're concerned right now, I have this channel here on YouTube which is all about talking about the ins and outs of academia. My YouTube channel generally is focused on grad school, kind of working in academia, but I also do stuff for college students, especially more on my TikTok channel. But it's basically, I've been a professor. I'm a professor at Stanford. I've been a professor for 15 years. Before that, I was a PhD student at Columbia. Before that, I was at Johns Hopkins as an undergrad, and I made this channel to kind of, well, it didn't start this way, but eventually became a channel all about sharing advice or insights or perspectives to help people avoid the kinds of mistakes that I know I have made in my career. And so it's been really great to been running, in this capacity. I've been doing this for about a year. I think I really started in earnest in June of last year, and it was very connected to shelter in place and online teaching, and suddenly being thrown into this world of Zoom on crack, or maybe Zoom on cocaine, I don't know. But in any event, it was, so the first year was awesome. I learned a lot. It's a very steep learning curve to figure out how to record and how to get, the basics of a decent quality video, and really built a nice community, which is the thing I'm most excited about. It, I think in the first year, welcomed about 3,000 subscribers, which in YouTube land is pretty decent. And this year, I have a lot of goals, kind of for the second year, of a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of, kind of, I don't know, augmentations, expansions. I really enjoy this, and I really enjoy the community I've been part of. And so, and this gets me to last week. So basically, I put together the outlines or the schematics over the last. I've been working on this for about 6 months, for kind of like a more hands-on program or project or mentorship project. And so basically taking the things that I do on my channel, which I'm going to keep doing, I've decided, and on TikTok, and things about advice, and try to do more, and also have a chance to maybe meet some people digitally face to face at this point. Still, because also people are coming from all around the world. And I put out this kind of call at the beginning of Sunday of last week, so a little over a week ago, saying that there's a program for college students, program for grad students, program for tenure track, and I have some other programs in mind, but those are the three I was starting with. That was all about that for a year, it would be $1. And the idea is that right now I am doing this on my own, and this is all sort of extracurricular work. It's not part of my regular job and my regular duties. And so it's like, okay, I could really stand to work with a basic video editor, or maybe someone to help me with my website, or just some help that goes beyond what is possible, and I'm a person that I will put as much of my own labor into something completely, for nothing. And I really throw myself headlong into projects. But when it comes to, hiring a video editor, that's something I can't do just of my own prerogative, because it's, I've got 2 little kids, and I just, we have to watch that and make sure that, okay, time is one thing, and checking and savings is another. And it was cool that in the beginning, people were like, "Are you serious? Like, that's the equivalent of like 1/100 of a cent a day. Are you serious?" It's like, well, no, this is not. This is the goal of this is just to be able to get some, cover the cost of getting someone to help out with this. And so it's not much that's needed. And people signed up, and then mainly on TikTok, I was like kind of making these little videos about, oh, we have a new person signed up from Michigan. Oh, and someone from Penn State, another person from University of Wisconsin, another person from Yale. It was like, kind of gaining momentum. And it was like a handful of people. It was like 20 people had signed up. So I kind of knew, like, okay, I'm still going to be on the hook for this, in terms of labor and stuff, but I want to do it. I really enjoy making this channel. And then I posted on Twitter on Monday to say, hey, doing this. And the reaction was really positive, and I got some nice messages. And then I got this one mention of my name on there, that really just threw me for a loop. And that's what I made the video about. It's the most recent video on my channel, so I won't go back over that. You can watch that if you're interested in it. But it was like, it was on its way to becoming sort of a social media pileup, it was in my view, it was done in really bad faith. And I was like, okay, I know how this works. I've been around long enough to know how these things can spiral. And so it's like, okay, just like turn off the lights again. Let's turn off the lights on this idea. And, but at the same time ask, okay, this brings me back to the original question. Can I do this? I've been on sabbatical. I've been on research leave doing research and writing, but pretty soon it's going to be right back into the thick of teaching. I have a certain course load requirement, but I often way exceed that. I mean, one year I taught 12 classes, so it's like, that's exceptional, but I did. And it was like, okay. And that's when I made the last video. It was just a kind of a raw video to say, all right, that was not the reaction, at least from one circle, that I was expecting. And so I'm not sure if I can do this. And then, like, basically right after I posted that video and shared it, the response was really unexpected. And this is the happy part, I guess. I started to get emails and comments on that video, but also like DMs on Twitter and um, all told, there are probably about 200 or so messages. The vast majority from people I have never met. Either I've never met, either I didn't even know, or were using my channel or like watching my videos. And they were really moving and extremely positive and extremely supportive. And I get it, and some of them said, like, I don't really want to jump into this Twitter thing. It's like, I saw it there, but I don't really want to dive into the chaos. It's like, no, please don't. Please don't go into this fray. I don't want this. I don't wish this upon anyone. And some did, and some like went to like Twitter war, and went back and forth. And I just sort of stayed out of that. But even that I was watching, and it felt nice to say. People were saying, like, listen, have you seen this guy's channel? Do you know what he does? Do you know that he's, passed around like his grant applications and fellowships and cover letters and stuff to like literally hundreds and actually, or more like 1,000 people? This seems unfair. Why didn't you just, reach out to him if you had these questions, whatever it might be? But one of the unanimous sentiments within those messages was that please don't stop making these videos, and please reconsider, doing this next level version of what you're doing, because it's useful. One person, this was amazing. One person sent me a picture, like a photograph that they took with their iPhone of their desktop, like their actual, not just their computer screen, but their whole desk. The moment that they saw my video where I was like, I'm not sure I can do this. No joke, the on that person's screen was a YouTube video that I had made about writing cover letters, and on his screen, or their screen, the actual cover letter of mine that I had shared with this person, because it's job season. People are getting ready for their applications. This person's applying to something. And literally, as it was like, they described it as a meta moment, as this person became aware of what was like unfolding, literally had the stuff open and said, I just want you to know that I find it useful, and there are people I know who find it useful, so please don't listen to the haters. I was really blown away. I mean, I've talked very openly about anxiety. I've talked openly about my past when it comes to that, and it was getting really close that Monday a week ago. It was getting close, and I hadn't experienced one in a long time. Like, I've done a lot of work, and but it's just a weird thing. And I would say, my work has been attacked by congressional Republicans. Like, I also made a video about this. I was targeted by this very powerful Texas congressional Republican who put my National Science Foundation grant on basically this shame list because I was working on China, whatever it might be. I've been attacked by that side, but what was weird about this is that it came from areas and circles from people who I considered kind of intellectual, brethren, siblings, family, people who I respect, admire, and it's a very small number of people, but people I've sat across from and had conversations with, or had long conversations with on the phone or whatever it might be, know their work. I think they know mine. So it was even weirder, I would say, because it's like I get a congressional Republican trying to score points off of me in this because there's an obvious kind of political angle to this. But at the same time, you're like, well, people who know me and know what I'm about, or presumably do, it was really weird for it to come from a small number of these individuals. And then it's just like, it had to do with trust and who do you know, and can you trust people? Like, and that's what it was even creepier, I would say. And the sort of just absolute righteousness of it and self-assurance of it in the post. And I was like, my gosh. So anyway, I was sort of, reeling after that, and then I got these messages, and they meant a lot. They meant a lot. People texted me. Few people gave calls. Anyway, then something even more surprising happened, which was someone wrote. I'm not. Well, they asked me not to say who they are, but they said, "I will. I'll donate $100 to this, like to basically I'll pay for 100 people because it was originally $1 a year. It's like I'll pay for 100 people. I want this to happen. Please let it happen. Oh, and I would say one other person that really meant a lot to me. I won't name them by name, but said, "I'm so sorry for what's going on." This is kind of a digital friend, I guess. We haven't met in person, but over on TikTok, we do a lot of lives together, lots of conversations. Said, "I heard you're going to refund everybody their dollar who signed up. Please don't refund me. I know what you're about. I really like the advice. I really like these conversations. Like, I need this. Don't let this person, whoever it is, I don't know who this person is, but please don't let this derail it." And it's like, wow, awesome. Anyway, so I went back home. That day was lost. It was like pure all of that, and then daycare pickup comes, and it was like, well, that was a day. That day's gone. And I was like, oh, it's like, I don't know if anyone out there has kids, but like little kids, like Monday is not a bad day. If Monday, I love my kids, but Monday is when you have a little bit of help, maybe with childcare, with daycare. So anyway, I was like, oh, I'm going to get all this stuff done. It's going to be great. And then the day was what it was. So I kind of talked it over a lot with my wife, and I was telling her about it. I was like, you won't believe what happened today. And then thinking about it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to turn this thing back on. I'm going to turn the site back on, and I'm just going to put it out there. It's like, I want to do this, and I can't do it by myself. And so here's what I'll do. If you want this for free, sign up for free. You can sign up for a year for $0. And people have done that, and it's like, welcome. You're not going to have like a lower version of this or some sort of trial period. It's just, that's what it is for a year. But if you think you can do it, and if you think this is valuable, I'd be grateful if you would pitch something in. Anything helps. And I put this other option. Let's say that you're a full professor somewhere, and you're like, well, I don't need a grad school program. I don't need a college program. I don't need a tenure track program because I'm past that, or whatever it is. But I know some people who might like this, might benefit from it. So I was like, you can get some slots on their behalf. You can chip in something and say, let some other people do this. And I just opened it up, and the response was awesome. It's still really small and really intimate, but I let the people know whose dollar I had already refunded. Actually, to the original people whose dollar was refunded, I said, listen, your slots are all paid. I wrote back to all of the original, it's just about 100 people, and said, well, as fate turns it, your if you want to do this again, your cost went from $1 a year to $0 a year because of that kind of little angel supporter who said that they didn't want to be named by name, but that they would pay for everybody up to $100. So it was like, okay, cool, and let's do this. And so basically, the enrollment is going to be open as of record. Well, this live is October 25th, and the enrollment period, basically signing up, is going to end November 1st. And if anyone's interested, put it in the chat, and I'll let you know where to go to find more information on that. But then finally, it was what was so nice about the day when I reopened it, and when it was like, maybe this is going to work. Maybe I could get to a place where I could reach out to a videographer and pay them what they're worth, pay them for their intellectual and labor on this, because I I do not like unpaid labor. I don't like my own unpaid labor, but I really don't like unpaid labor of other people. And so it's like, maybe this is possible now. And that's when I started to let myself daydream about the actual program. The program starts in January, so I'm giving myself some time to, like, and also the holidays are coming up, and I don't want to just press start on it. So basically, enrollment ends November 1st, and then it starts January 10th. And it's, what's in it? There's going to be, videos along the lines of what I do for my channel, but kind of more structured, trying to really address the different components of a graduate student career or college career or the tenure track process. Webinars, live webinars about, grants and fellowships and book contracts and applying to grad school and finding a dissertation topic and, what is tenure and how do you meet editors. And the first one we're going to do, actually, for one of the groups, is an intense topic. And it is, what happens if you're denied tenure? So I actually reached out to someone. I'll tell who they are later. And I said, you once opened up to me that you were denied tenure earlier in your career. And this person recovered within academia and now as a professor. But I said, would you be, I'm putting together this webinar. It's one of the most taboo topics of all. Like, no one talks publicly about this. Would you be willing to open up and share and take some questions or whatever? So one of the first webinars will be that. And just, my mind is just racing now with all of these different ideas. And I've already set up a bunch and I have all of these. I'm really excited. And so that's what happened last week. That is what happened last week. Again, okay, see some. Great to see you again. Thank you, One Little Bowl. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Real Goose. Yeah, it really, I think I saw when you put in, that's amazing. It really was. So I am grateful and excited and just, okay. So if you have any, so what I would suggest now, I don't know where you all are, if you are at your desks, if you're studying somewhere or whatever, but I am going to fire up a little kind of mutual accountability system here in case anyone wants to just press mute and get some work done and kind of be on the hook for it. So but please, if you have any questions, add them to the chat, and then when the little mini study session is gonna be over, then we can continue talking. But I use a system. There's like various studying systems that are really great out there to kind of keep you real, so to speak. One is a Pomodoro method that everyone knows. Pomodoro being tomato from Italian, and my understanding is that the Pomodoro method is named as such because the inventor was using a kitchen timer that was in the shape of a Pomodoro. I use a different system. I use one that's kind of conducive to it. And Kaios, thanks so much for saying that. Cool. Let me put in, this is I think I'm allowed to put links in here. That's where you can find the information about the programs. I use a system that I developed, which I like for me, and I call it like it's like hexagon. It's like a hex system because I divide an hour into 10 6-minute units. And these are for like really concentrated small things that I need to get done, like an email or two, chip away at a letter of recommendation for a student, chip away at something concrete. And I do not allow myself any longer than 5 minutes. Now you said, like, wait a minute, you just said 6 minutes. The idea is that an hour is divided into 10 6-minute units, but each of those 6 minutes, I only do 5 minutes of work. So there's kind of like a 1 minute recharge or buffer. So for myself, I actually use an hour glass. It's a 5-minute hourglass that I have. but I'll also put a timer up on the screen. And if anyone wants to kind of get something done, then toss in the chat what you need to get done today, and you would need a little bit of motivation. I'm gonna throw mine in here. Let me choose mine. Okay. I need, yes, something that's really been weighing on me that I need to get done is I need to draft the invitation email for a kind of interview series, podcast series that I'm working on for a research project. It's like basically interviews for a research project. And I need to finalize the email that I send out to potential recipients, potential interviewees, excuse me. So this is my goal. Draft invitation email. Actually, yeah, draft. Let's say, I think I can draft it, maybe finalize it to my, it's called a disappearance project. Anyway, okay, that's what I'm going to do in the next hex. So it'll be just 5 minutes, and then probably take a 1 minute break. I might actually stand up and stretch for a second, and then I'm going to come down. Antonio, hi. And then we can, if you want to, any accountability, if you want to get something done, you don't have to throw it in the chat, but it's good to have accountability that you want to get something done. Okay, so as soon as I put this up, the countdown is going to start. Okay, your goal is reading my biography of James Connolly. Okay, so here's what you do. You have to limit yourself. Well, you don't have to. If you want to use the method that I'm talking about, you have to give yourself 5 minutes out of the 6 minute unit and then stop. That's about 2 pages, 3 pages. It's like, why would I get 2 pages done? Because 2 pages makes it reading 2 pages makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to read 5, to read 10. And what's great is that the whole point of this system is to take out decision fatigue, where it's like, should I read longer? Should I do this? What should I work on? Et cetera, et cetera. It's almost as if someone else is structuring your time, being like, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to work on this one thing, and then afterwards you got to move on to something else. And through, this is not how you'd want to structure an entire day. You don't want to structure a whole day like this, but for, an hour, 2 hours out of a day, when you feel you're losing a lot of your momentum to meta reflection on what you should be working on, which if you're like me, you do all the time. That's what this system is. Okay, one little goal. My goal, write a paragraph of literature review based on a few papers I read yesterday. Okay, so if I could give you a little bit of advice on the size of that unit, I would say take out one of the papers you read, and I'm assuming I don't know if you read it online or whatever, you underlined or you like highlighted or whatever. Make your goal just, I call it note cardification or notifying. Turn into notes as much as you can of one article in 5 minutes. That's it. Trust me. Like, because if you say like, I want to make a paragraph is kind of a magical beast made up of lots of different notes. So just try to turn one of those things you read yesterday into notes in a separate document and get as far as you can. And at 5 minutes, you got to stop and you got to like stretch your back or something. And then, FC, before I start the timer, currently on the job market, which program could I sign up for grad school tenure? You can sign up for both. And in fact, and again, I truly, truly meant what I don't know if you just joined, but I truly meant what I said before, and I truly mean what I say on my website. If right now is not a good time for you, financially, whatever it is, you can sign up for both of them for free. And I'm totally cool with that. And everything is exactly the same. If you are in a position or you feel like, yeah, I want to chip into this, by all means, you can sign up for one for free. If you want to do two, you could sign up for one for free and then chip in for the other one. Or you could say, I want to chip in this much and let me divide it by 2. That's fine. But they're not exclusive. Lots of people have actually signed up for that combo, the grad school tenure combo. It makes sense. So, all right. I'm gonna fire up my thing, and let's do this. 6 minutes on the clock, but only 5 minutes is what we get to use. Let's get some shit done. All right. All right. Okay. And I'll try not to interrupt anyone by talking too much. All right. Oh no. Yeah, we're out. Okay. So, gotta take care of your body. Gotta do something. So I'm just gonna stand up. So I'm gonna order my lunch before I forget. Okay. You don't make friends with salad, but it's good for you. Okay. Okay. All right. So, actually, while we're doing this, so yeah, so I actually have these cool. They're like hexagonal playing cards. They're like six-sided playing cards that I made for myself. And the way I do this system is each of the cards has uh, kind of a main category of activity that I know make up a good amount of my day. So, um, for example, footnotes, like work on footnotes, like just clean them up, find missing entries, but also email, letters of recommendation, um, and a variety of others. And then I have some that I consider like my kind of health and well being, like read fiction, pick up the guitar and play. Um, and what I do is I basically the night before, maybe the morning of, but typically the night before, I like shuffle all the cards, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna. So I randomize it. I randomize the order and also what's gonna come rise to the top of the deck, and then what I do is I kind of just, if I let's say I have an hour in my schedule that sorry, let's say I have an hour in my schedule or 2 hours in my schedule where I can tell that I'm going to suffer from decision fatigue because it's like I'm always working on a million things, and in theory, any one of them could be what I should be working on. And so what I'll do is I'll shuffle the cards, and then I'll just flip them over and be like, okay, here's my hour. I'm going to chip away at letter of recommendation. I'm going to clean up some footnotes. Oh, look at that. I'm going to clean up some footnotes too. Sometimes there's more than one version of each card. Because I try to weight the different things. I don't want to have just one of each card, because working on footnotes is more important than emailing, because emailing is a big time suck. In any event, I'll just be like boom, 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 10 cards, and that's an hour. And it's nice because it takes all the decision making out of the equation. It's just like, okay, this is what I'm working on. Now there's flexibility within it. Like if it's email, it's not which email I should write. It's that I have 5 minutes to write email, and that's it. And then once it's done, it's done. And also you can do it for, but again, with kind of health and well-being ones, you can also you can throw down a card and it's like, kettlebell, or you throw down a card and it's dead bugs or crunches. And it's like, all right, I just finished 5 minutes of email. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to stand up for a minute, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to do 5 minutes of kettlebell. If you have that just lying around your office, which I typically try to do, kind of integrate the two. And it's very clarifying, because this is something I learned from parenthood. For any of you out there who are parents, maybe you've experienced this. For those of you who have not seen Fascism of the Baby's Face, then I'll spare you. Well, it won't be relevant to you. But it's actually very easy and straightforward to take care of an infant, because there's no second guessing. There are no mind games. If the kid needs to be changed, you don't ask yourself, should I change my son's or my kid's diaper? You just do it. And if they need to be consoled at that age, you just console them. And if they're hungry, they're hungry. And there is no metabolic energy wasted on all of the second guessing that we do in life, basically from toddlerhood up. I'm a parent of a toddler and an infant, and there is a, what people talk about with terrible twos and upward is more that there's this introduction of like there's this element of like, how should I be as a parent? Like, how should I react to this situation? And then on the kid side, it's like, let me try to push buttons and let me try to do something which I know is gonna sort of push buttons or whatever it is. And then it introduces all of this psychology that stays with us for the rest of our life, and I, for one, if you just tell me like this, not even tell me, I just feel it physically, like this thing needs getting done, then I just become like a machine. I'm like a machine. Like I just get it done. But if you ask me, like, you have 3 hours of unstructured time today, that's amazing and rare. That I will lose 15 minutes of that in decision making. So that's what this is all about. Anyway, you got 2 pages done. Awesome. All right. See? And it's done. And you're not allowed to go on any further. And also in real life, like when I do this, I don't now blah, blah for 5 minutes afterwards. I'll just take a break and then move on to the next thing. Take a break, 1 minute break. The other way you can do it is you can just stack those 5 minutes up in a row. So again, there's 6-minute units, but you only use 5 minutes of each. So what you can do, you can either take minute breaks, or you can move immediately on to the next 5-minute unit thing. And then at the end of 10 cards, you actually have 6 minutes to yourself. Then if you have like this extra unbooked time that then you can really enjoy by doing whatever it is you want, absolutely anything you want, and you're not allowed to work. Anyway, okay, so I'm actually going to do another one. Yeah, cool, make some. Me too, read 2 pages. Yeah, and basically it's like 2 pages. It's basically 2 pages. You can get done in 5 minutes. It's one email. I have to say I failed to produce mine because this is a bit complex. I have to like kind of spell things out. But you can do these things that are measurable and you're like, okay, that's done now. Or at least I now know how long it takes me to do that thing, so this book is not insurmountable. I'll finish this book. Okay. I am going to do, if anyone wants to throw in what they're going to do, I'm going to finish this thing, and then I'll probably wind down this live afterwards. But all right, finish this invitation email. All right, that's mine. If anyone else wants to put their accountability there, just let me know. I am not sure. I mean, everyone has different anonyms on YouTube, but I think maybe one of you just signed up for the program, and that's awesome. At least I just got make task cards. Yes, very meta. That's good. That's worth 5 minutes because it'll save you time. And I can send you, if you want any ideas on like what I recommend as categories, just let me know and I can share that with you. Anyway, all right, I'm going to do that. Let me fire this up, and I really got to get this done. I really, really got to get this done because I got to start inviting people. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, good. Got it. Cool. Outline a code. All right. So time's up. Hope everyone chipped away. I got mine done this time. So sometimes, sometimes of course it takes more than one unit to actually get one thing done. And you have to decide whether or not you want to do that. Like, you don't want to say, I got to read this whole book today and then break it up into a bunch of hexes. That doesn't make sense. But if that's like, I just want to always be chipping away at reading this book, then this is good for that. But if there's something that you can get done in like two of these hexes, then I'm kind of like, well, let's do it. Yeah, cool. All right. See, it's fun. It's just like, all right, and now that's off your plate, off your platter, and you know it's there. All right. Well, my blood sugar is wherever my blood sugar is right now, and I could also use a coffee because for some reason our youngest is now like ready to party. Not just up, but like ready to party and rock and roll at like 5:30 every morning, to where he stands up in his crib and with his he knows two words, mama and dada, and then he just like goes, ah. He has this like primal like whale call, and then will say my name, and I will go get him, and he and I will go downstairs, open up, turn on the lights, and then start our little morning, and mama and our oldest get to sleep in a little bit longer. So anyway, I don't know why you needed to know that. You didn't. We're just getting to know each other. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. For those of you who were here at the beginning of this, thanks for, listening to what last week was like. It was pretty intense. And also, I will say, watch out for a new video, which I think I'm going to post today. If not today, then tomorrow. And this one's going to be, I think, cool. It's for any of you who are practicing for job talks or a presentation or an interview or for anything of that nature. It's building on the resting scholar face video that I made a long time ago, or not that long ago, many people watched, where basically I impersonated what an audience member in a job talk or a talk looks like, who's making this constant scowling face. Well, I made another video, which is basically all about another paradigm or another persona or an avatar who you are guaranteed to encounter at some point in your career, and who can also throw you off of your game in a totally different way than the resting scholar face person. So, that will be coming. That will be coming up pretty soon, and either like later today or maybe tomorrow. So anyway, it's so cool to spend some time with you, and I will see you all in the next live, the next video, and hopefully in this program. So thanks, and see ya later.